Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, today we will present about fatwa on pharmaceutical and cosmetic. So before that, I will introduce our group, which is first is me, Nur Atira binti Man Ali, and the second one is Nawarah binti Zulkarnain. Third presenter is Intan Nur Arisha Hanum binti Muhammad Rosli. The second last is Nur Sabrina binti Sabri, and the last one is Siti Halimah binti Ismail. Alright, before we go further, we will proceed to the introduction. Okay, for the introduction, as we know, halal has become an important issue for Muslims in their daily life. Okay, halal good include wide range of production, including pharmaceutical. Many new firms are joining a pharmaceutical market to grab the opportunity and remain competitive market. So even the global corporation or diversifying their product, the demand exists in the form of whether a drug is halal or permitted in Islam from view of Muslim scholar. Therefore, there are a few of issue concerning pharmaceutical and cosmetic based on fatwa issued by Malaysia and other organization. So let's see the meaning of pharmaceutical. So the meaning is medicine and consumers health product, including traditional drug. So for the cosmetic, makeup or chemical or item that are used to enhance the look or attractiveness of the body. So this article is seek to examine the differences between Malaysia and other nation legislation, as well as concern with cosmetic and pharmaceutical as addressed by fatwas.
My name is Nur Nawara binti Zulkarnain, and I will be presenting on the topic of vaccine. Generally, vaccine is permissible based on the sayings of the Prophet ﷺ. It is also considered as the preservation of life by the majority of Muslim scholars, and in Islam it is encouraged to seek treatment and medication. However, an issue arises concerning vaccine mixed with najis, such as the rotavirus vaccine. Briefly, rotavirus is a contagious virus that infects the stomach and intestines, commonly in babies and young children, resulting in vomiting and diarrhea. The issue regarding the rotavirus vaccine is that it contains enzyme derived from pig in the manufacturing stage. Thus, there are two rulings issued by two fatwa institutions, prohibited and permissible. Firstly, in 2008, the National Muzakara decided that it is prohibited to get the rotavirus vaccine due to the presence of swine in the production process. The decision was justified by the fact that getting the vaccine is not considered a necessity, so the Malaysian citizens does not require them. Furthermore, there are more alternatives of medication that does not involve swine in the production. The National Muzakara also justified based on Surah Al-An'am verses 119, in which Islam only permits medicating with haram materials only in darurah situations where there are no other alternatives. Lastly, the Muzakara inserted the opinion of majority of scholars and Prof. Sheikh Dr. Wahbah Al-Zuhaili, stating that medicating with najis such as liquor is haram and impermissible. In 2013, MUIS released a fatwa in allowing getting the rotavirus vaccine. In justifying the ruling, Surah Al-An'am verses 119 serves as the foundation in which that if there are no other halal treatments and the patient's life had to rely on the treatment made from najis or haram sources, Sharia permits the patient to carry on with the treatment. Furthermore, the Fatwa Committee was informed on the function of the trypsin solution that contains an enzyme from a pig's pancreas. It is used to transfer the virus cells to another growth medium. The trypsin solution is the safest choice in guaranteeing the efficacy of the transfer of cells in the manufacturing process from dying prematurely. After harvesting enough cells, trypsin will no longer be used in the following steps. The harvest fluid will then undergo several filtration processes and will finally be sterilized to help ensure that the product will be removed of all traces of trypsin. Next is based on the concept of istihlat bil muqatarah. Trypsin solution is considered to be pure as it has undergone the processes of dilution and the addition of pure elements. Hence, the Fatwa Committee deduced that the impure element in the overall product is small compared to the majority of pure elements contained in the product. Lastly, according to Health Service Authority, the porcine enzyme found in the trypsin solution is not found in the end product of the rotavirus vaccine. The usage of enzyme is only limited to transferring the viral cells in the early stages of the manufacturing process. The vaccine product has undergone multiple processes of filtration, purification, and sterilization till there are no longer traces of porcine enzyme traceable in the end product. To summarize, the National Muzakara decided that getting the rotavirus vaccine is not allowed as the vaccine is not common in Malaysia and there are availability of halal alternative treatments. Meanwhile, MUIS reaches the decision that the impure components have been eliminated from the finished product, thus regarding it as permissible.
Okay, the issue is capsule and pills. Nowadays, medicine is the first line of defense recommended for any illness. Usually, treatment through the use of medicine for a disease is one of the permitted methods in Islam. It is an effort or human effort to overcome a disease. Every disease has a cure, and the power to heal disease is the power of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala alone. Medicine do not cure the disease, but are the cause of for the healing of a disease based on Surah Al-Shu'ara, وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ, which means, and when I am sick, then He is the one who cure my illness. Okay, what is capsule? Capsule are oval-shaped and soft-coated medicine. Capsule have been categorized as a first layer for drug dosage packaging. There are two main types of capsule, which is hard shell capsule and soft shell capsule. Both types of these capsules are made from either gelatins. Issue that are highlighted is the use of gelatin in capsule and pill on pharmaceutical. The meaning of gelatin is a type of derived protein that dissolves in water produced through a partial hydrolysis process on collagen. However, pig skin, cow skin, vein, and animal bones are the main raw material to produce gelatin. Gelatin is mostly used in making capsule because it is used as a material to prevent the medicine from spoiling. Okay, now we are going to see the legal medicine regarding to gelatin use in capsule and pill. Ad-darurah tubi al-mahzurat, which means that the state of emergency requires prohibited things. This method means that when a person is faced with a situation that causes harm to him, then he is required to do illegal things that time. How is state that gelatin is required to be used in emergency situation. However, the necessity is only to release his state of emergency, and he cannot take the opportunity to exaggerate and is not inclined to do it unless the situation at the time strongly compels him to do so. According to the view of the Muzakara Fatwa Committee of the National Council of Islamic Religious Affairs of Malaysia in this issue, Muzakara has decided that the use of gelatin in medicine at the present moment is essential due to emergency, but the use of gelatin in medicine is no longer required if there is a halal substance that can keep the medicine from soon rotting. On the other hand, from the Mufti of Brunei Darussalam follow the original law where the gelatin comes from halal animals that are slaughtered according to the Islamic method of slaughter. Then the gelatin is halal and holy, but if the animal is not a halal animal such as pig and the method of slaughter does not follow the method of slaughter, then the gelatin is haram and extremate. After analyzing the divine evidence, legal medicine of Ad-Darurah to be al-Mahzurat, and argument of Fatwa, we can conclude that any use of gelatin made from non-halal element is permissible in medicine for Muslims in Malaysia. However, if there is any other halal option, Muslims are urged to consume halal. That best way to identify the source of the medicine taken is from a halal source is to look for a drug that has halal certification. The source of the raw material are used are halal and pure from impurity according to Islamic law and used for legitimate medical purpose.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Siti Halima Ismail. Number metric is 20T09508001. Okay, so we go to the third issue, which is cosmetic ingredient. Cosmetic can be referred to as a product used to beautify, clean, and change appearance and attract attractiveness to the human body. According to the Europe directive, a cosmetic product is any substance or preparation intended to be used on all external parts of the human body. So there is no denying that cosmetic products are among the products that receive responses from all the over the country. However, cosmetic products also receive much demand from consumers. So this is because consumers are aware that halal cosmetics that are safe to use. Therefore, halal cosmetic products should not contain ingredients obtained from pigs, blood, carrion, human body parts, and anything forbidden by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. As the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's hadith said, what is halal and what is haram is haram. The meaning, the hadith is whatever Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala has made lawful in His book, then it is lawful, and whatever He has prohibited, then it is also unlawful. Moreover, whatever He silenced, then it is forgiven. Narration from Al Hakim. When it comes to halal cosmetic, one of the things that are focused on is the ingredients used. However, if prohibited substance or restricted chemicals are harmful to users, such as mercury, indirectly using cosmetic is illegal. This is because cosmetic can harm oneself. In other words, using cosmetic that contain mercury only destroy oneself physically and spiritually. Allah also forbids human to harm or destroy themselves, as the words of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala in Surah Al-Baqarah 125, which is the meaning, and do not cast yourself into destruction with your own hands. So as you can at the slide, you can see the list of the prohibited or restricted chemicals such as mercury compounds, chloroform, and etc. So these ingredients are banned in cosmetic products because mercury can cause serious health problems. The danger is not limited to the user. It can also harm family members and people around. Other people are exposed to its vapors using products containing mercury. Apart from that, breastfeeding babies are easily affected by product containing mercury, which can cause damage to their brains and nervous system. Okay, so what is our country, Malaysia, and others country talk about the prohibited ingredients such as mercury using in cosmetic. Okay, so according to the Central Islamic Council of Thailand, CICHOT, ingredients in cosmetic are required not to contain lead, such as arsenic, mercury, and cadmium. However, the amount must be lower if it is contaminated based on the criteria set. Okay, next, previously the Brunei government had banned the sale of Puputi brand cosmetic product because they contain dangerous substance. This is in line with the Medicine Cosmetic Products Regulation Act 2007, which prohibits mercury as an ingredient in cosmetic products. Okay, in the meantime, the Indonesian Religious Council (MUI) also stated that using cosmetic containing mercury is illegal, while the use of cosmetics containing mercury, whose halal and purity is not clear, should be avoided by the user. This matter is mentioned in the provisions of MUI Fatwa number 26, number 8 in 2013. So apart from that, the ban on mercury in cosmetic in Malaysia is mentioned in the Drugs and Cosmetic Control Act 1984, where dangerous substance such as mercury are not allowed to be used in cosmetic. So in the meantime, products that the Malaysian Ministry of Health indirectly bans are also banned by JAKIM because the products harm consumers. So we go to the next slide, which is about the kawaid fiqhiyah. So what is the most suitable kawaid fiqhiyah for this issue? So the kawaid fiqhiyah most suitable is Darul al-Mafasid Muqaddam al-Jar Masali, which means rejecting the damage to take precedence of reaping the benefits. We can know cosmetic that contain the mercury or chemical can make our face more beauty, more glowing, and much better from before. But we also know that over time that cosmetic will harm to our face. So this method of Darul al-Mafasid Muqaddam al-Ajab Masali means that rejecting mafsada is more important than taking maslahah. In other words, if the two collide, we must prioritize rejecting mafsada. In the Drugs and Cosmetic Control Act 1984, some chemicals can be used, but in the percentage set by the Malaysian Ministry of Health. Even so, frequent use of this chemical will cause health problems in the future, so it is best to avoid using cosmetic that contain chemicals. Therefore, efforts to prevent mafsada are priorities over efforts to obtain benefits. Okay, so this is because it is feared that the mafsada will spread and cause great harm. In this matter, Sharia gives strong emphasis on the thing that prohibited more than things that are ordered, as said by the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, which is mean. When I command you to do something, you should do it as much as you can. And if I forward you from something, then you should stay away from it. Narrated by Al-Bukhari. Okay, so in conclusion, the ingredients in cosmetic will affect the halal or haram status of a cosmetic product. The halal status of cosmetic is very important to Muslim consumers, so the issue of cosmetic product ingredients is a very sensitive issue among Muslim consumers. Okay, so therefore, every nation government needs to tighten the laws regarding the halal ingredients in the cosmetic industry so that sellers do not wantonly deceive consumers by stating that cosmetic do not contain harmful ingredients when the cosmetic are unsafe.
Okay, we continue about the cosmetic surgery. Cosmetic surgery is a type of elective surgery designed to alter the physical features of the human body. It's currently in high demand due to a combination of several main factors, namely low self-esteem, the desire to achieve a beauty standard set by society, and the ubiquity of mass media and social media influencer. As a Muslim, cosmetic surgery must be evaluated from a jurisprudential lens to determine the level of necessity of the procedure, whether it reaches the stage of essential of a darurah, or necessity hajah, or complementary tahsinah. Along with a close inspection of the maslahah involved with the aspect of a maslahah and mafsadah in need of a further clarification. A close inspection of a medical fatwas relating to cosmetic surgery reveals that procedures that are intended solely for physical beautification with no medical justification whatsoever are forbidden. Okay, next, for the first fatwa from Mufti of Federal Territories Office, about ruling of a dimpleplasty, whether achieved through piercing or surgery. Actually, it's prohibited by Islamic law. Dimpleplasty is very expensive and can injure the face nerve buccal branch. Okay, a dimple is a small natural indentation in the skin, usually on the cheek or chin. If a person has a dimple in their cheeks, they show up when they smile. Okay, Sharia prohibits cosmetic surgery and other procedure that alter human appearance without necessity. Okay, for the ruling dimpleplasty, yakni dimple surgery, according to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hadith from Sahih Muslim. The meaning is Allah has cursed those women who tattooed and who have themselves a tattoo, those who pluck hair from their faces, and those who make spaces between their teeth for beautification, changing what God has created. Okay, the curse la'ana in the hadith show that it is wrong to change what Allah has made, both for the people who did it and for the people who ask others to do it for them. Imam Al-Nawawi said that the word lil husni, which means to make space between the teeth, mean his reference to people who make space between their teeth for beauty. Lil husni shows that this is only forbidden when it is done for beauty. If a person needs to do this to fix a physical problem or because he has eye on his teeth, then this is fine, and Allah knows everything. So the hadith becomes the basis of making it illegal to change Allah's creation to make it look better without a good reason. Okay, next we going to see about a minor cosmetic surgery to decrease signs of aging. This fatwa from the General Iftar Department from Jordan. In accordance with Sharia, it is acceptable to perform a cosmetic surgery to remove a defect caused by an accident or similar event, a birth defect, to reduce indication of age, or for aesthetics purpose. Based on a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, scholars believe that a companion named Arfajah ibn Said was allowed to wear a nose made of gold because his nose was cut during a battle. Imam Al-Aini said products that get rid of freckles and make a woman's face look better for her husband are allowed. This also applies to hair remover. Okay, according to the hadith earlier, the Prophet enabled a person whose nose was severed to replace with gold nose, right? So, it is permissible to perform a cosmetic surgery for some reason. For ruling of a collagen injection to appear beautiful in front of a husband, this fatwa from Dar al-Ifta al-Misriya, Egypt, and the Mufti of the Federal Territories Office, which is Malaysia, from Malaysia. And the first one, collagen is a protein that is common in connective tissue, skin's bone, and cartilage. Injection of collagen fill and smooth the skin. It is prohibited the injection of collagen for beauty in front of males other than her mahram or spouse. Also using najis of harmful materials and changing Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala creation. The rules is allowed when used to treat lost attractiveness due to unhealthy diet, disease, accident or neglect in health care. The important thing is husband permission is required for beautification or aesthetic purposes. Islamic law also allows injection and venesectomy, incision of vein for the removal or withdrawal of blood. Same with piercing a woman's ear for earrings for beauty. And then Islamic law allows health and beauty additives. Now we are going to see about legal maxim regarding to ruling of a collagen injection to appear beautiful in front of a husband. Ad-darar la yuzal bid-darar. One harm cannot be removed by another harm. Okay, for example, desperate man cannot eat or drink something that would put him in another desperate situation, such as drinking poison because of extreme thirst or eating spoiled food because of extreme hunger. And then the important thing is the ingredients of the injection solution are free from any negative side effects to health. Regarding this, it must be referred to medical expert and not just based on assumptions. So that's all. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, we go to the last issue, which is about tabarush issue. So, in general, we know that tabarush refers to a woman's style of clothing or attitude that is extravagant in order to draw others' attention, especially when she steps out of her house, purposely display their beauty on her face or her body. In addition, wearing a makeup in public or anything else that can make man lust for her. Alright, for makeup, as a general word of Allah said that وَالَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُم مَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ حَنِيفًا, which is, it is He who created for you all of that which is on earth. Okay, in Surah Al-Baqarah ayah 29, which is said that this verse indicate that it is permissible for a woman to wear a makeup in general. Nonetheless, women should only adorn for their husband as well as those permitted by Sharia only. So she should not display her beauty other than their husband and some of the human beings who have been mentioned in verse is Surah An-Nur. Okay, we look to the next slide, which is they have been bold, which is their husband, father, their husband, father, their sons, their husband's son, their brother's son, their sister's son, their mother, their that which is right hand possessed, or those male attention having no physical desire, or children who are not yet aware of the private aspect of woman. So that is a human being that have been mentioned in Surah An-Nur. In a real technical maxim for this issue is al-aslu fil ashya al-ibaha hatta yadullu dalil ala tahrim, which is the original basis law for everything is permitted unless there is an indication that show the forbidden state of it, which is original ruling for this clothing and adornment is permissible to be worn or placed on a person daily clothing or placed as long as there are no specific evidence that rule it is an exception to the general rule. So this indicate of wearing a makeup is allowed for a woman without transgressing Islamic law. So example is wearing excessively and tabarruj. The last is on argument of the fatwa. Okay, based on a Shaykh al-Maragi, which is forbidden for women to display their adornment and beauty for the benefits of other men as women did before Islam. So based on Imam al-Shawkani said that al-tabarruj is when a woman showcases her adornment or beauty which is wajib to be covered, of which would attract the attention of men. Okay. In view of the fuqaha in the division of the law regarding tabarruj as outlined is al-mawsu'ah al-fiqhiyah al-qawatiyah, which is excessive adornment for a woman is allowed only for her husband. So as a Jahiliyah woman tradition, it asserted the same for women who wear heavy makeup with attract ajnabi men attention and lead to fitnah. It is something that Islam forbids. So it is acceptable to apply natural lipstick or cosmetic merely to be respectable and not to attract other ajnabi males. Alright, for the conclusion on this issue, it is indispensable for a woman to take care and respect herself in terms of beautification, together with having the right purpose of doing so. It should not transgress the Islamic teaching. Adornment is permitted for a woman to fulfill their natural desire. Every woman aspires to be attractive. So in Islam, it is not again the natural desire, but teaches how to correctly or utilize it. So Islam make it so her natural desire in channel toward the right way, which is toward her husband as her sole life partner, who is permissible to look at part of her body of which is prohibited to seen by others as stated by Said Qutbi. So that's all for this issue. Thank you.
So for the conclusion, as we know, the development of pharmaceutical and cosmetic industry is increasing. This is because of the many requests from users. Consumers from the Muslim community are also increasing. So it is not surprising that the halal industry is included in these two industries. The halal pharmaceutical and cosmetic industry embraces the concept of halal material sources critically, applying halal practice in every manufacturing process and ensuring product performance conforms to Islamic rituals. Development of the halal industry in various fields need to be further expanded to attract the interest of non-Muslim consumers. This is because the industry that emphasize the concept of halal must ensure that the product is safe to use. Indirectly, this is also can introducing Islam to the world. Okay, so therefore, the importance of the halal industry is being introduced in every field. So the government needs to play a role in introducing the halal industry in pharmaceutical and cosmetic, so that consumer safety is more guaranteed when using cosmetic or consuming medicines. Apart from that, the individual also plays an important role because most of consumers trust advertisements without checking the product's origin. So every individual needs to apply the concept of tabayun in this regard, because pharmacy and cosmetic products used on the body or eaten. Okay, so thank you. That's all for today. That's all from us. Thank you.